so we have to find somewhere tonight, otherwise we're not going at all.
Do you want the good news or the bad news? Paramedics and police say they have nothing to do with it because it's too dangerous.
So it's going to be even more dangerous than normal.
Well, things have definitely escalated here.
It's steeper than I even thought. Oh my god.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it on the screen.
That is mental.
Welcome back to the channel. We're Janine and Liam Day, a married couple who have been doing full-time van life in the UK for the last 2 years. We've just got back from an epic trip in India, so wanted to acclimatise to life in England again by heading to an iconic but crazy British event. There is one annual event in Gloucestershire that stands out as the most extreme and maddest event potentially in the world, so we had to go check it out. Our adventures this week start in Somerset at the cheese centre of the planet.
Welcome back to the channel. We are heading towards the UK's craziest and possibly the world's craziest calendar event of the year, the Gloucester Cheese Rolling Championships. It is the most extremist thing you could ever visit in the UK, possibly. I can't believe that they're still doing it because it's been threatened to be banned so much. But that's where we're heading anyway. That's tomorrow. Today, bizarrely and unintentionally, we are right next to and heading towards what is the UK's cheesiest town you could think of. That's where we're going right now. We're not going there for what you think we're going there for. We're going there for another reason. I'll explain when we get there, but yeah, think cheese.
So if you hadn't guessed already, we're off to a gorgeous little village in Somerset situated on the southern edge of the stunning Mendip Hills. Cheddar, true by name, is where cheddar cheese was created back in the 12th century. But we're not here today for cheese, we're here for something a little more strenuous. We parked up at a small Sainsbury's just out of the centre of town. Cool, we have arrived. We're in a Sainsbury's car park, and the reason why we're here is because you can actually park here all day. So it's really, really good if you want to go out and see Cheddar for the day. You can park here. I'm just going to find out the cost of it. It's £4. Oh, that's for cars. £4 for cars all day. And I presume that's the same for us. So I'm going to double check that. But yeah, so we're going to park here. We're going to head into Cheddar. Cheddar is like, there's a gorge there. We're going to go for a bit of a hike up the gorge. We're going to get some exercise and check out the town, and I'm so excited. We popped into Sainsbury's to grab a quick healthy snack for the hike before going into the village. Cheddar is not only famous for cheese, but these days for growing strawberries. But many people, including us, come to the village each year for the stunning gorge, which is the largest in the UK. The hike we're going on today will be steep and take us right to the top of the gorge, looking out over the county of Somerset. It's a windy day, but the sun is out at least. En route, we went past many cheese shops, but unfortunately no vegan cheese for us, but everywhere looked so quaint on this late spring day, with little shops, eateries and a river running through it all. I even found a Christmas shop, which, if you're watching from abroad, yes, the UK has year-round Christmas shops that we hear are surprisingly popular throughout the year. The trail starts by climbing the steep road within the magnificent gorge itself. We saw numerous places to park the van overnight on either side of the road, but we hear that you are almost guaranteed boy races if you stay here. Then the trail went off-road, following another steep track to the top, where we had panoramic views of the county. It's a fab hike to do if you want to blow the cobwebs off, and gave us enough exercise to work up an appetite. Okay, cool, so that's the walk done. It took about 2.5 hours-ish, around about that. And yeah, it was a lovely walk, but now we're gonna go back to the van and make some food, make some lunch before we go and find our park up.
Forever young, or am I faking on the tip of my tongue? There's a sarcasm waiting for you.
So we are back in the van, and both of us are feeling pretty hungry actually after that walk. So we couldn't go to Cheddar without having a meal with cheese in. So we've just got this Cathedral City plant-based grated, and yeah, we're gonna have some cheese today because we're in Cheddar.
And on that note, the amount of people that come up to us and say, because they know that we're vegan, and they come up to us and say, oh, I tried vegan, but I just couldn't do the cheese thing. Totally get it. We're on the same page as you. Most vegan cheese is horrible, and it has been for a very, very long time. So completely understand. However, everything changed when Cathedral City came out. This is something that's very, very close to the original. Definitely give it a go. We're making like a pesto. a pasta pesto dish using peas and this. Bit alternative, but it's very, very nice. It's one of Janine's recipes, and this is a game changer with regards to vegan cheese. This and applewood smoke for melting, brilliant.
Oh, that's so good. That's really like so much fresher than regular pesto.
So this is pea pesto. Peas make a great carrier for basil and all the rest of it, and it saves money on pine nuts, which are the most expensive thing nut going, they really are, and and basil as well. So you put peas in there, which cost nothing. It fills it up, it makes it fatty, it's full of protein, and it's really good. And that handful of vegan cheese as well. Here we go.
Looking good, Liam. That looks awesome.
It's your recipe. You just not made it for ages.
I know, but you made it, and it looks really, really nice.
Cool. So that's it. That's pea pesto, fresh pesto, healthy. We're using garden peas and a few sun-dried tomatoes and some fresh basil leaves. Banging. We're gonna eat this now from the same pot.
Yeah, let's do it. We enjoyed our pasta in the back of the van, sat in the supermarket car park in Cheddar, before it was time to hit the road once more to our next cheesy location.
Okay, we love Cheddar, but we're just leaving now. We're going towards Gloucestershire and heading towards the place where the cheese rolling is. It's called Cooper's Hill, and it's all kicking off tomorrow morning. So I think the closest place I've managed to find is actually a supermarket stealth camp. So that's potentially what, if I can't find anything better, that's what we're heading towards.
I'm jaded and degraded. I'm misplaced in every way that you can think of.
So I've just pulled over because we've heard word about parking restrictions on the day. Thousands of people are turning up to the event. There's nowhere to park apparently. The only parking that's available has got height restrictions, and there's loads of road closures, so it's going to be mayhem. So our only chance of really going to see it, from what I've been reading, is to be able to try and find parking near the event now. So if we can stealth camp near the event, then we can leave the van there and just go to it tomorrow. If we can't, we might not be able to go because it's going to be chaos. So let's go and find somewhere. Fingers crossed.
If we can park somewhere and walk in a little bit, but it has to be doable. We have to be able to walk in there. So we have to find somewhere tonight. Otherwise, we're not going at all. So now we are on an even bigger mission to get close to the event before the crowds. After some research, we found out that Toby Carvery, which is a 20-minute walk from Cooper's Hill, may be allowing overnight stays in their car park, so thought it was worth checking out.
Right, I'm gonna go and double check. We're in the Toby Carvery car park. We've seen a motorhome has pulled up just there, which means there might be a chance because we're so close to the hill here in the Toby Carvery car park. Let's go double check.
Oh man, I really hope and pray that we can stay here because I am so tired and I really don't fancy going out and about trying to find a wild camping spot for the night. It would just be ideal to stay here because I think the sun's going to go down quite soon, and yeah, I really could do with just chilling now. It's looking hopeful though because there's a motorhome there and there's another van to the right of us as well. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, that was do you want the good news or the bad news?
Oh.
Do you like the good news and the bad news?
No.
Let's start with the bad news. No, we'll start with the good news. I always start with the bad news. Start with the good news. We can stay here tonight.
Yay!
And the bad news is we've got to buy a drink in there.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, I was only joking.
That's
it's double
good
news.
news.
No, actually, the bad news is that it's going to cost us £10 to park here tomorrow because it's going to be absolutely rammed.
Of course, that's fine.
But they've got music and stuff on out here for it.
Nice.
This is like the official cheese rolling place event.
Is it?
I think so, yeah, or unofficial. Everything's unofficial because it's the police and the paramedics having nothing to do with it this year. So it's like an unofficial event, but it's still going ahead.
Really?
So we're all right here. We're absolutely fine here for tonight. So I'm going to turn it round so the back's facing that way, and then we just got to go and have a drink in there and chill.
So why aren't the paramedics having anything to do with it?
The paramedics have said paramedics and police are saying they have nothing to do with it because it's too dangerous. It's too much, and it's just, and I can understand where they're coming from. Can't you?
Yeah.
Like, they can't have an event where people are literally like flinging themselves off a very steep hill to imminent casualties, and then
expecting them to come along and
for 9 emergency services to be there for it.
Yeah.
Does not mean that the ambulances won't turn up, obviously, but hopefully people won't get seriously injured. Yeah. So let's get ourselves comfortable. And this is us for the evening.
Nice.
Toby Carvery.
Woohoo!
I'm not hungry though, are you? I've got massive pasta.
I know.
I'm a mess, babe, why can't you see? No hope in what's left of me.
We've just had a local come up to us and start chatting actually, really, really nice lady, and she said that people come to this event from all over the world and it's going to be absolutely heaving tomorrow. Not only that, but she said normally it's really muddy and, you know, like it's been raining a lot, there's sort of mud everywhere, it's slippery, but this year it's going to be really hot, there's less mud, but that's a downside because the actual hill is going to be a little bit rock solid, so it's going to be even more dangerous than normal. Less slippery, but harder. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We finished our drinks and headed back to the van.
So since we last saw you, we've moved the van, had a couple of drinks, and the car park's starting to turn into a bit of a campsite. There's quite a few people turning up for this, and looks like word's got out that Toby Carvery is the place to camp overnight. We are going to be going to bed now, it's quite late, Toby Carvery's shut, and we're going to wake up and do some cheese rolling tomorrow.
I'm home again.
Good morning. Well, things have definitely escalated here. From quite early this morning, vans and cars and all sorts of stuff are crawling in. It's still quite early. There's an awesome African-style bus camper van next to us, which is great. And there's some like big motorhomes from different countries as well. There's a big Bengal tiger here in the window. It's very, very cool. There's definitely a vibe happening here now. It's starting to sort of ramp up a bit. So it's a bit chilly. It's been warm up until today. I don't know what that means for people flinging themselves down hills, but I just realised as we're going to go and make our way up to Cooper's Hill, which is just over there, just behind Toby Carvery, it's about a 20-minute walk, apparently, steep walk. We need to explain what cheese rolling is to you, so let's do it.
Fully wintered up on this freezing summer morning, we headed off to join the crowds towards Cooper's Hill, the home of the infamous cheese rolling event.
Okay, so as we're making our way through these stinging nettles up towards the hill, you're probably wondering what cheese rolling is. Well, it's an event that or sport that goes back 600 years, apparently, over 600 years. And it started off by being a fertility ritual, so I read somewhere, which I don't understand, but still. And it really is, as it sounds, it's people rolling cheese down a hill, but with a twist. The hill is very, very dangerous. So, rolling down in Gloucestershire here, so rolling a cheese down the hill, the cheese reaches 70 miles an hour, and the reason for that is that the hill is extremely steep. It's a sort of hill that you wouldn't even be walking down, let alone running down, and that is the name of the game. I think before, back in the day, the first person to catch the cheese at the bottom wins. But now, as the cheese is going so fast, and it's basically the first one down the hill, I think people put their all into it. That's why there's quite a lot of casualties throughout the whole years, and that is why the emergency services are having nothing to do with it this year, and you can see why. So we're just sort of hoping that no one gets seriously hurt, but it should be entertaining to see people flying down the hill in this annual celebration tradition. Regardless, Cooper's Hill is 200 yards long, and on a gradient of 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, however you say it. And yeah, it's about to take place now. And we're here this year. Someone's even suggested that they throw a vegan cheese down there. We can live and hope, we can live and dream. Let's go and find out what this is all about.
We walked across the fields, noticing how hard the mud is at the moment, climbing fences and approaching the main hill itself, realising just how steep it actually is.
Oh my god, we can see the very bottom of the hill behind the trees, and it is so steep. It's steeper than I even thought. Oh my god. That is so bad. That's really scary. That's really scary.
Oh my god. I didn't realise it was going to be that steep.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it on the screen.
That is mental. That is proper mental to say to these guys. That is ridiculous. I wasn't expecting it to be that steep, honestly. You have to see it to believe it. I think I've seen a clip of it on TV before or something on YouTube. It's so much steeper in real life. We're talking flat wall space.
Oh my word. I'm going to show you right now just how steep this is. It's absolutely ridiculous. So apparently they come charging down this hill. Dog in my legs. They come charging down this hill, and obviously you see behind me the end of it isn't really that long. So I think there's going to be a line of rugby players, that's what I heard, rugby players at the bottom to catch people so they don't go flying into the fence. Right. So we'll see how that turns out.
The sky so far away tonight.
We found a seat. We've got a place right at the front. Liam is right next to the fence. So we got here at 10 o'clock and it was literally the last place at the front left. So everyone else that's come after, they're all sort of, I don't know, still trying to find places. So yeah, we were really lucky, but 10 o'clock I'd say is the latest you should get here if you want to get at the front.
So apparently there's 2 men races and 1 female race, but there might be more races depending on how many people have shown up to take part. Then there's also uphill races as well, and the rest of it, we don't know what's happening.
Whilst we were waiting, thousands more spectators were turning up and the crowds were getting thicker, tension was getting higher and the audience was getting impatient with anticipation. We sat and watched as people scrambled for the best viewing spot on the steep grassy slope, and watching the press taking interviews with previous winners and the rugby team preparing to catch people at the bottom. It was definitely an exciting atmosphere, but one filled with nerves by almost all who were on the hill today. I didn't think we were quite ready for what was about to happen.
There's a lot of people here. Look down there. Just so many people queued up. Gruesome. Yeah. I'd say it. That was very hard to follow.
Okay, can I ask if you've got a drone up in the air and you can...
We've come a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should. I I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should. I have to praise you. 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 I have to praise you like I should. I have to praise you.
Right, we're off. See you later, guys. Now it's our time to run down the hill. Go on.
Go on, run it.
Run it. Go on.
So that was our very first cheese rolling event. I hope there are people watching from America and Australia. We know there are. We've got access to our analytics, so I'm so pleased you get to see just how balmy British people are. That is a sporting event in this country, and even I could not believe my eyes with that. Could you, Janine?
No, not at all. They're absolutely mad.
They're not running down a hill, they are jumping off a cliff. That's what they're doing, and scattering themselves along the way. It is absolutely one of the most bizarrest things I've ever seen. And as we walk down the hill and we can hear sirens in the background from the ambulances going to pick up the casualties, thankfully no fatalities, and we're hoping no serious injuries. It's still, you've got to have some guts to do that. I'll do some crazy stuff, but that really is next level. So glad you've dragged me up there today, Janine. It was worth the 2 hours of cold to sit there and watch 22 seconds of people flinging themselves down the steepest hill I've ever seen in this country. If you like the content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the video, subscribe, and we'll see you next time as we've got some more van life adventures in the UK. What do you say, Janine?
I said even this is difficult, isn't it?
You can't say that.
Scratch on that.
You can't say that after what we've just witnessed.
Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.